Oh yeah, you trying to do it?
Our HBCU named and invited solutions provider. Our goal is to support the HBCU community at large, understand and navigate the NIL landscape in college athletics. We do that through 3 pillars. One of this being here that we are today at our inaugural HBCU House initiative, where we look to engage HBCU alumni, students, supporters, brands, the whole community as far as educating about opportunities and which ways we can support our HBCU students and student athletes. Additionally, we do NIL education summits that we travel to different campuses, as well as esports, culture and content workshops where we also talk about opportunities that exist in NIL in the gaming industry as well. I would like to welcome everyone here to our inaugural HBCU House initiative. I thank you all for being here. Thank you to all of our speakers, our sponsors, our partners that have all helped make this event possible. To not keep you all too long, I'd also like to bring up and welcome my co-host for our NIL and Sports Career Lounge, Mr. Vince Pearson. Vince has been one of our partners since day one. He was at our very first NIL Education Summit we did last year, and this is a very full circle moment as we embark on a new partnership between B Collective and the Black Sports Business Academy. Before we get started in our pods, I'll let Vince kind of explain a little bit more about BSBA and then give you guys some info on how we're going to start the day.
I appreciate it, brother. Well, as you said, it's been an honor to support not just you, but what you've been building and what we've all been building together around this initiative. So many familiar faces, and I consider us all partners in the work that we're doing. With the Black Sports Business Academy, we launched in 2020 in the midst of COVID with the idea that there was a lot of money flying around HBCUs, and that was support, and what a different time we're living in today. But our thought was that money doesn't necessarily guarantee career outcomes. And so we wanted to create an intervention of sorts that enhanced the learning experience and career outcomes for students at HBCUs who wanted to work in sports and entertainment. And so if you just listen to that, you can already hear the direct connection between what B Collective is doing and the work that we're doing. So it was always very proud to support, whether being able to show up in person or support from a distance, what B Collective and the HBCU Collective has been up to. And so now I'm really excited to make it official, to hold hands in the spotlight, so to speak, and start to charge at this work together. And we see a pathway of doing that not only through what we're doing today with HBCU House and the mentorship pods where students will learn directly from executives in sports, doing the things that they want to do, but even beyond that, and things that we can do with campus events, other stops for this tour, and things that we just haven't even had a chance to think of just yet. So very excited to be here today. Flew in from Detroit as soon as the call was made. I just got back from my honeymoon on Wednesday. That's the real news. But this was so important, I knew that I wanted to be here for it, and I'll fly back home tonight. So, as was mentioned, I'll be co-host, so to speak. I would love to meet everybody one-on-one. And then if there's any way that I can support, whether today or beyond, please feel free to grab me, say what's up, and let's find a way to connect.
Awesome. Thank you, Vince. With that said, we'll get started with our NIL and Sports Career Lounge. So what that will entail, as students come in throughout the day for the next hour and a half or so, we'll have them floating through. We have speakers placed strategically throughout this space to talk about various industry aspects of the sports business. We have pods that are dedicated to sports business and careers. We have pods that are dedicated to NIL and personal branding. And we also have pods that are dedicated to leadership and entrepreneurship. And so we have our speakers placed. If you see any students that do come in and trickle in, please direct them to one of our pods. We'll have rotations going throughout this time, so that the goal is that we'll have all of our students be able to interact with all of our speakers during this time. After that, we will transition into our leadership and legacy panel. And then following that leadership and legacy panel, for those that are 21 and older, at 5 we'll begin our wine and spirits tasting for our evening festivities. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. I thank you all for your support.
My name is Candy Waller. I am the president of Bowie Television. Part of my role there is just managing all of the things, and I just so happen to also be the on-site reporter for the station for the Washington Commanders. We also cover the Baltimore Ravens on site. Through my sports and media outlets, CBO Sports and Entertainment, I've also covered the Washington Wizards, the Washington Mystics, done all the things from Super Bowl to NBA All-Star to whatever it is that you would like to name. I've pretty much done all of it. So it is a pleasure to be here, and I can't wait to meet all of you in the room.
Thank you, Waller. Hi everyone, I am Dr. Tabia Pope. I'm the president and CEO of Head of Speech Incorporated. I am a sports speech language pathologist. Head of Speech is a nonprofit organization dedicated to athlete brain health, sports concussions, and their effects on cognitive communication. We really are the bridge to athletics and communication sciences. We connect with communities for awareness and training. We integrate brain health into athletes' normal routines, and we expand career pathways into brain health and sports careers in speech language pathology. For the past 2 years, I've served as a Black Men's Brain Health Emerging Scholar at the Super Bowl, and so I do a lot of work with athletes with social impact branding, as well as helping them with their career transition with brain health and cognitive skills training. So thank you for having me.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Marissa Steele. I'm a recent graduate of Howard University. I've majored in criminology and minored in psychology. I'm also an alumna of the Howard Women's basketball team. And right now I'm a dental assistant. Can't wait to speak to you all today.
You know, I think from a football perspective, right, when Deion Sanders went to Jackson State and all of the things, it became like, oh, this is new, right? Even from a band perspective, player perspective, but this is what we do, right? It wasn't really cool until a well-known athlete put an HBCU out there on the map.
And I remember writing a couple years ago that it's really interesting because you can't have the Super Bowl, and people forget about this, you can't have the Super Bowl without HBCU graduates, right? And HBCU athletes have shaped the Super Bowl. You know, some of the biggest moments in the game that you see replayed over and over and over again. Obviously, John Starworth at Alabama and Richard Dent at Tennessee State, MVPs. I mean, you just go on and on just throughout the history of that. But from an NIL perspective, I think that the biggest thing for me that I always advocate is own your own story, own your own brand, and being that disruptor, being that change agent.
I think using your voice and talking to those people and using your opportunities and branching out to those people that are willing to help you, like they'll push you in the right direction to get an NIL deal or even just start your influencing journey. So
I appreciate that. So that's actually a perfect segue. The next question is going to be from a legacy building lesson. What legacy building lesson should today's student athletes prioritize? So if you were talking about what you did, what other reflections can you give on that?
I want to emphasize just reaching out to those people that are willing to help you, especially within the HBCU community. Everyone is so sweet. The culture is different. I mean, not different, but the culture is inviting. The culture is very much family-like. Everyone is willing to help you, and whether it's with advice or whether it's just with you want to just have a conversation, they're willing to help. So I would definitely emphasize on just reaching out to people.
Roman Clark wines here with us. Please feel free to try the samples that they have with us. The cigars outside for those that enjoy a cigar with their whiskey. Please take full advantage of that, as well as socialize, network, talk about the day, make connections. Thank you all for being here for HBCU House for this initial launch, and we are excited to have you. Thank you all.